I'm Lexi, and in this video I'm going to try to help you get more in touch with your gut. Try to understand what the gut is, how can you work with it. So it's really important that you understand that this video is basically reflecting just my knowledge, my understanding, and my personal experience of what I have learned so far in life through books and through my own interactions in the world. I want you guys to make your own opinion based on what you're about to hear, okay? This is a collective exercise in trying to be inspired by what I'm about to say, but also reflect it back on your own experience, okay? I want you guys to be independent thinkers. There's nothing more important at this time than to have a collective of people that are uniquely themselves and strongly into their own independent belief. And I have some notes here on my laptop that I'm going to be looking at from time to time, because I did notice that as a Mercury in Pisces, I tend to fly off on tangents. So I'm going to try to keep it very clear and organized. Okay, God bless. I hope this works. So, what is the gut? First of all, gut is a very short form of saying gastrointestinal tract. Yeah, okay? I know, it's a mouthful. That's why we have a short form, gut, your gastrointestinal tract. This basically refers to the main way in which we take into our body mostly food. So whatever we put in our mouths gets processed through our esophagus, in our throat, and then gets sent to our intestines, that really windy, kind of sausagey looking lines. It's like you have a 2-meter long sausage. Some cases I think it could be longer than 2 meters. And anyway, it gets centered to our stomach, okay? And in our stomach, food gets broken down into what goes through the poop trap and what actually gets transformed into energy. And this is why it's so important, guys, that you nourish yourselves properly, okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't have the occasional junk food. Everybody loves junk food, right? But it's very important that from time to time you nourish yourself. So there should be a balance there, right? Between how many nutrients you're getting into your body, if you're getting the proper vitamins, if you're getting the greens, if you're getting like all those nice nutrient-rich smoothies, if you're eating 3 meals a day, if there's a proper balance between the grains, the vegetables, and the fruits that you're getting into your body, combined with all the sugary stuff, ice cream, soda pops, carbohydrates, alcohol, weed, you know, all sorts of things that you might put into your system. So there needs to be a balance between the two. Why is it so important to take care of your gut? In order to listen to your gut, you have to protect your gut. You have to take care of what you put inside your gastrointestinal tract. I'm not a doctor, by the way. I trained as a psychotherapist. I am very fascinated about how the body connects with the mind and the way in which we interpret our emotions. So I like to read a lot of facts and get, informed on a daily basis. Basically, what I found out through a couple of excesses in my life in the past is that you need to be very careful of the inner lining of your stomach, okay? This is, amongst other things, represented by what we call the columnar epithelium, or epi, as I like to call it. It's like your own little Tamagotchi inside of your body, and you have to be careful what you feed it, because if you don't feed it properly and if you don't take care of it, it will die on you, basically. The inner coating of our stomach that is meant to protect our stomach from acids, enzymes, and all sorts of things that can actually attack it can get broken through or dissolved, and then you reach all sorts of really awful diseases, stomach ulcers, and so on and so forth. So you don't want to irritate the epithelium. The epithelium gets really irritated when we feed it a lot of acidic based food. If you have an environment that is full of acidity in your stomach, then you are going to get diseases very quickly. In order to listen to your gut, you first have to nurture your environment. You first have to establish this very clear link between your stomach and your brain. Why is this really important? Well, research has actually shown that there is a clear link between signals that are sent from our stomach to our brain and vice versa. The stomach actually takes about 2 to 5 minutes to tell the brain, hey, I am full, so stop putting things into the mouth, okay? So there is a very clear communication, and then the stomach can also communicate to the brain, hey, I need some resources, go and find some food, go and hunt, go and do something so that I can actually, process, because you need energy. So the brain also sometimes tells the stomach, this is yummy. From our past experience, you really enjoy this type of food. This is tasty. This smells good. This feels good. Remember the last time we ate this? This was really yummy. So there is a clear communication between our brain and our stomach, and they both send signals to each other on a daily basis. So it's really important that if you take care of your stomach, if you nurture your inner coating of your stomach, that epithelium that I was talking about, then it will be a very clear processing of the food that you put into your body into the energy that we create. And this energy emanates from within us, okay? You can see it through our skins, which is the largest organ in our body, protecting 99% of our cells, more or less. And it's actually refracted into magnetism that we have around us. So almost like planets have this capacity to attract and repel, this magnetic sphere around them, we are very much alike, you know? So we're also part of the universe, and we also have energy and magnetic fields around us, okay? This is how we can attract and repel each other. So if you take care of your gut, you send correct signals to your brain about what it needs to do, about how it can interpret reality based on the 5 senses. So our sight, our smell, our capacity to taste, the way we touch, and our hearing, right? This is the main way in which we actually take reality into our body, or we are able to understand reality. If there is an imbalance between our stomach, our brain, and how we understand and perceive reality, then we might actually suffer all sorts of mental health issues. But as much as possible, try to keep a balance between what you take in and what you put out, because this really affects the level of your energy, the level of your capacity to understand reality and to discern and to parse and analyze information in your environment. But it also affects your 5 senses, okay? So your enjoyment of life, how it feels, how it tastes, how you generally partake into the experience of being human, having a material physical experience. Listening to your gut. It's called listening, okay? Pay attention to the verb there. It's not about smacking, banging, cooking, drilling your gut. It's about listening to your gut. You have to get into the practice of listening to your gut almost as if you're listening to another person. Try to think of your stomach as this Tamagotchi, or like I tried to call it, like this epithelium, my little epi. So for example, if you have a lot of parents yapping at you, if you have relatives yapping at you, if you have a boyfriend and girlfriend constantly asking for your attention, if you're constantly plugged into the television or into social media, if you don't have a moment to just be by yourself in silence, in complete stillness, it's going to be very hard for you to listen to your gut. You're not going to know what to listen to, because your mind is going to be like, oh, I need to pay attention to this and this and this and this, and where are my eyes going? So be very, very careful, okay? There is a reason in the saying, whatever we feed our attention to and whatever we focus on tends to grow, okay? So try to spend some time, at least a couple of moments a day, where you can actually make a space where you're still and silent. This is the beginning of you listening to your gut, listening and trying to make sense of all those conflicting voices and ideas and images and associations that you might sometimes feel. Take some time to listen to yourself. You know sometimes what you have to do, but most of the time we tend to push it away, block it, rationalize it, overthink it, okay? Because our mind tends to override our gut. What I wanted you guys to know is that distraction, sitting still, just being bored, boredom is the great counterpart of listening to your gut, okay? Try to get yourself in a position where you have nothing else to do, your needs are completely met, just sit around and listen. What is your intuition telling you? What do you feel? What kind of messages are bubbling up to the surface? So practice listening to your gut as if it's another person, as if it's your best friend, okay? Try to even give it a name. My little stomach, epithelium, my little gut friend. I don't know, Sarah. Give it a name, okay? Create a character and just get in touch with your gut, because trust me guys, your gut is never gonna steer you in the wrong direction. I want to guide you through right now the slight differences between intuition and gut. So your intuition, from my perspective, is actually a reservoir of accumulated experiences. You've been through a number of experiences and you've started to understand how patterns work, how you can associate one thing with another. For example, you may consider that playing ping pong is a really good association or a really good metaphor for how you can understand relationships as a give and take. Yeah, so that's an association. You use the game of ping pong to try to apply it to understanding how relationships work and how a give and take works. So intuitions are a lot about foresight. They're a lot about trying to understand what comes next based on your previous experience, based on this reservoir of collected knowledge that you have in the past. The gut is the initial reaction, the instinctual reaction, that flutter in the belly, that kind of sense of wooziness or dizziness when you meet someone, that moment when you feel like, whoa, this person is the love of my life, or oh my God, I really don't like this person. This person is like, I want them out of my sight because they're going to harm me some way. That is your gut, okay? The first reaction, the instinctual reaction, the moment you lay eyes on someone, the moment you feel your body kind of sending you like a jolt, like, whoa, what was that, you know? The goosebumps, the fright, the inner knowing, the fire that lights up within you, that is your gut, and you do have to get in touch with that. Unfortunately, because of this over-rational way of thinking and because of the separation between mind and body, we've been told not to listen to our gut, that listening to your gut and your bodily reactions is unreliable and it's not logical, and that we should actually be very analytical. And while that might be true, I'm not discounting that. You do need to rely on facts and measurements, especially if you're designing an aircraft. You need facts and measurements, right? If not, it's gonna sink to the fucking ground. If you bake a cake, you need precise measurements. But for example, in other situations, when you're making love, when you're falling in love, when you're having a baby, all sorts of these things like that, instinctual things start to happen with you. It's not only about the facts. It's not only about controlling with your analytical mind. There are so many situations in your life where you have to trust other people. When you go on a plane, you trust that the pilot is gonna fly you to the destination. When you get on the bus, you trust that the bus driver is gonna get you to a destination. When you give your money away, you trust that the bank is actually gonna take care of your future savings, right? When you allow your child to go away from home to study in another place, you trust that other people are going to deal with your baby in a very good way and protect your child, even though your child is an adult now, but you still have those worries, right? What's going to happen to my baby once it leaves home? You will always meet moments in life where your capacity to control and to analyze just based on your brain is going to be limited. So that's why it's so important to begin to trust your gut. When your mind keeps telling you, give second chances, rethink a situation, revisit a certain part, but your gut is saying, no, run, this is strange, this is making my belly ache, this is giving me sweats, this is making me not sleep at night, this is making my heart palpitate, this is making me have goosebumps and get like shivers on my skin. Trust your body wisdom, not your mental wisdom, but your body wisdom. Your body wisdom is there to let you know something important is being communicated to you right now. If you ignore it, you might put yourself at risk. You might end up in situations of domestic violence. You might end up in situations where you're being abused, where you're being attacked. Trusting your gut is the difference between taking the right path home at night and the difference between you ending up as one of those statistics in the murder cases. It's really important, you guys, that you trust your gut. No matter how difficult it is, your friends might make fun of you. Your parents might think you're out of your mind, you're insane. Why don't you think logically? Doesn't matter. Trust your gut. Trust what you think is right for you. Intuition is a reservoir of all the moments, all those instinctual gut moments that you have felt. And the gut moments are just the physiological reactions, that strong way in which your body is communicating to you, hello, there's something I want you to pay attention to here. Sometimes people use them interchangeably. I use them as well. Trust your gut or trust your intuition. But I think for intuition, you do need a little bit of a mental kind of processing, just a little bit, not too much. So gut, I feel, is the basis. It's the initial reaction. It's the physiological first thing, instinctual thing, you know, the ways in which the first hit of information that hits our senses, our eyes, our hearing, our nose, our capacity to taste, and our touch. Intuition is the second layer. It's like in between complete reason and gut. It's like a reservoir of all those moments when we had to rely on our gut, but it's also bridging the analysis with the mind. And then the rational analysis is the moment where you actually sit down with pen and paper and you go like, okay, cost and benefits analysis. These are the defects, these are the qualities. How much am I going to lose? How much am I going to earn? What it is that we need to do. I want measurements, I want facts, I want things to click perfectly. I just want to leave you a recommendation. I've recently watched a movie called Labyrinth. This is one of my favorite movies. It's from 1986. It features David Bowie, Jennifer Connelly, and it's about a girl called Sarah that goes on a journey to try to understand how she can reach a castle where she can save her baby brother. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I want you guys to look at it and enjoy it. Okay, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. Why am I using this movie in this video? It's because this movie is fantastic for training your intuition. Sarah's journey is all a journey about her actually getting more in touch with herself. She goes into a world that is unfamiliar and she's trying to find her way to the castle, right? The goal. She wants to achieve that goal. But all sorts of people keep popping up and she's actually relying on their perspective all the time. And every time she's relying on other people's perspective, well, a lot of really interesting things happen. But when she comes back to herself, that's the moment when she empowers herself. Please go and watch it. Feel free to share resources down in the comments below. If you've been having a gut reinforcing or a gut protecting practice, share it with us below. Maybe you've been drinking smoothies that help enhance your probiotics or, you know, the way in which you can protect your gut and intestinal fauna. Great, share it with us. Maybe you've been reading books. Maybe you've been doing meditations of some kind. Awesome. Share it with us, please. I hope I can inspire you guys. That's my wish and that's my hope and my aim. I'm not here to preach on you. I just want to inspire you to listen to yourself. I'm going to cut this short here because it's already longer than I planned, but I hope you found this entertaining. I love you guys. See you next time.